Hi, this is Lori from the Amazing Social Media Strategy team. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to the coordinates element of a social media strategy. We'll see that this element is the springboard from which all the other C's emerge. Specifically, I'd like to introduce you to what we mean by coordinates, and extending on this, looking at goals in a slightly different way, whether they're good or bad, and whether they're synced or unsynced, and what might be the possible outcomes of different combinations of these characteristics. And finally, how having sound coordinates benefits the organization. The so what. We know that establishing your goals is a starting point for a task, but we take this one step further. We are looking for goals that work together, that are synced. So let's drill down a bit more. You'll note that some of the words are italicized. These are those that are worthy of a bit more detail. So we have strategic goals. Strategic goals represent big picture choices that an organization makes, and which then define its operating space. So what does this mean? Because an organization's resources are limited in terms of time, money, expertise, and so on, it must make wise choices about what to do and what not to do. In other words, what the organization pursues and what it doesn't pursue. And what this means is that it may not pursue some enticing goals in favor of something even more valuable that leverages its strengths. In our definition, we note good goals or sound goals. So another feature of coordinates is that they have these characteristics. They're specific. They can be measured. They can be acted on. They're realistic, and there's some time element associated with them. So when we don't have good goals, when we have bad goals or unsound goals, these goals are missing one or more of these characteristics. We also note that coordinates are synced goals. So what do we mean by this? We use the acronym ARCS to serve as a helpful reminder. So sync goals are those goals that are aligned with one another, they're mutually reinforcing, they are connected to one another, and together they cultivate a certain type of synergy. In other words, they work together. So for example, if we assume your mission is to promote an event for your organization, you might have two goals. Establish a website highlighting the successes of your company, and craft a social media campaign to promote the event. Now, for time and space purposes, let's assume that these goals are more specifically defined to capture the SMART characteristics that we talked about previously. That they're specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timed. So they're fine by themselves, but there's really no linkage or connection between the two of them. But when you add a third goal, integrate the promotion of the event on the organization's website and on social media platforms, you'll see that there's some synergy between them. They're coordinated. These are coordinates. So far we've made a distinction between good and bad goals and synced and unsynced goals. Let's take a look at what might emerge as a result of these combinations. First of all, what drives all of the goals is the organizational mission. So if we start at the bottom right side, we have bad goals, the goals that are missing one of those SMART characteristics, timed, actionable, and so on. And those bad goals that are unsynced, we call those total flops. Bad goals that are synced, we call toxic alliances. And then moving over to the left, we have sound goals that are unconnected to one another. We call those mismatches. And finally, sound goals that are connected to one another, that is our goal, coordinates. So let's look at the bad goal area of our chart first, where the goal is missing one of those SMART characteristics. It's not specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, or timed. And let's start with the total flops. which again are goals that are missing one of those characteristics and they don't work well together. In this case, your mission is to enhance the reputation of your organization. And you have two goals. Post more pictures of your products on Facebook and post financials from your annual report on your company's Twitter account. Right off the bat, you notice that this violates the realistic characteristic because using Facebook and Twitter for this is inappropriate. And as they stand now, they are not connected or mutually reinforcing. Posting your financials is not related to your products. They just don't work together. So let's take a look at toxic alliances, which are goals that are missing one of the SMART characteristics, but they are synced. They work together. So let's assume your mission is to create more visibility for new products, and your goals are to post pictures of your products on Facebook that are also posted on your company's Pinterest account, and alert Facebook and Twitter followers about the pictures of your products. So in this case, you'll notice that the first goal is similar to the previous example, but it remains an inappropriate use of Facebook and Pinterest. But they're aligned, they are connected, they do reinforce one another. Moving to the good goals area of the chart, where we'll assume for time and space purposes that the goals have those SMART characteristics, we have mismatches, where the good goals are not connected to one another, they're independent. So let's assume your mission is to increase sales of your brand, and your goals are to drive traffic to your website to encourage sales and increase awareness to your brand by using Twitter to live stream events. These are appropriate usages of the platforms, but as they stand at this point, there really is no connection between the two of them. In fact, if you think of this in terms of, let's say, a sports team analogy, you can have excellent skilled players individually, but as a team, they just don't gel. They don't play well together. There's something missing. That's what's going on in the mismatches area. Now, if we extend on this previous example, by adding a third goal, so we have the same mission, the same two goals, but if we add a third, highlighting the links to your website on your live streaming events, we see that they are now connected. They're synced. They work in concert. They're coordinated. These three are coordinates. So what does going through this process help you accomplish? For one, by establishing sound, synced goals, it provides direction for all team members involved in any initiative. It provides a point of focus. It's also the starting point or the springboard to make decisions about what channels to use, what to post, your networks or connections, and your corrections management approach. And it also provides a means by which to measure your success. You now have specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timed goals that are nicely connected to one another. Are we achieving them? And here are some infographics for you that capture some key tips on coordinates. These are also available on the book's website under the Fun tab. And just as a reminder, while establishing your coordinates sets the strategy in motion, it's only one of the 5 C's to a great social media strategy. And to learn more, I encourage you to visit the book's website, where you can access helpful tools and read the latest research on social media, and follow us and connect with our social media strategy community on a number of social media platforms. And of course, there's more information available in the book. We hope this video will help you create amazing social media strategies. Bye for now.